I got a rusty key in the mail. It unlocked a hidden chapter of my grandpa's love story. Have you ever received something in the mail that felt out of time, like it belonged to someone else's story, not yours? Last month, I got a small padded envelope. No return address, no postage marks. Just my name, handwritten in cursive on the front. Inside, a single rusty brass key, old, heavy, and completely unfamiliar. No note, no explanation, just the key. At first, I thought it was a prank. I even asked a few friends if they were messing with me. No one owned up to it. But the key nagged at me. It felt important. You know that weird gut feeling when something small pulls at you like it's part of a much bigger story? The next day, I drove to my late grandfather's house. He passed away a year ago, and the property was now in the hands of my uncle, who hadn't done much with it since. Grandpa was a private man, retired military, kept to himself, but kind. He never talked much about his past, just quiet smiles, chess on Sundays, and perfectly organized toolboxes. I told my uncle I had a strange feeling and wanted to look around the attic. He shrugged, handed me the keys, and said, "Sure, just be careful. That place hasn't been touched since he passed." Up in the attic, the dust was thick. Old boxes, furniture draped in sheets, a few black and white photos stacked near an old army trunk. I was about to give up when I saw a small wooden chest pushed behind some boxes in the far corner. I tugged it out, and sure enough, it had a lock. The rusty key fit like it was made for it. Inside the chest were dozens of letters, carefully bundled with twine, each one postmarked from Rome, Italy. The paper was delicate, and the ink had faded, but the writing was unmistakably my grandfather's. They were love letters. The first one started in 1944. He was stationed in Italy during the war. Her name was Elena. She was a local artist, and they met when he wandered into her father's shop to buy postcards. What followed was a romance that spanned 3 years, and then, surprisingly, many decades after he returned to the US, they never married each other. Life happened. He came back to America. She stayed in Italy, but they kept writing. Through marriages, children, and even as grandparents. Not scandalous or inappropriate, just deeply personal letters filled with respect, memories, art, and the kind of affection that doesn't fade. There was also a small sketchbook in the chest, pages of delicate pencil drawings of my grandfather, reading, laughing, once even asleep on a bench. She had drawn him from memory. The last drawing was dated 1995, and it simply said, "Still, yours, always." At the bottom of the chest was one final letter, addressed to me. I didn't even know he knew I loved writing and old stories. But somehow he did. In the letter, he said he hoped I'd find the chest one day, and that I'd know what to do with it. He wrote about love, regret, and how some people come into our lives and quietly change everything. I scanned the letters, translated the Italian ones with help from a friend, and decided to compile them into a small book for our family. I titled it Elena's Letters. When I gave a copy to my grandma, his wife of 50 years, she smiled with tears in her eyes. "I always knew there was someone," she said, "and I never held it against him. I had someone too once. We were lucky in our own ways." That conversation hit me harder than I expected. Sometimes love doesn't follow neat timelines or expectations. Sometimes it stays with us quietly, shaping how we see the world, even if it isn't part of the official story. Now that rusty key sits in a glass box on my bookshelf. A reminder that our lives are layered, that people are more than what they show, and that some stories only begin when others end. If you ever get something unexpected in the mail, especially, something that feels like a piece of the past, don't ignore it. It might just unlock a story you were meant to tell.